I'm currently in my closet. It's the quietest place at my home. And obviously, there's no lighting in my closet, so I'm using a flashlight instead. Peekaboo. Okay, so not much is happening in terms of life or like adventure or traveling. So today I was settling back into my home, just coming home to a bunch of mail, sorting that through. I had to edit and upload my vlog this morning. Worked on my other channel for a bit. Yeah, and somehow it's like 6 p.m. now. I'm like, where did the day go? And I'm like, okay, well, what am I gonna film for today's vlog? And I was like, maybe I should try story time. I've never done that before. So then I'm like, what kind of story time should I do? I'm gonna talk about ghost stories. So I'm gonna be telling you guys about my supernatural experiences. Even though I did experience these ghost stories, I don't like to believe in ghosts because it freaks me out. As an adult, I didn't experience ghosts, and I hope to God I never again do. But when I was young, I experienced some weird stuff. I don't know, some people say that children are more sensitive to the supernatural. I've experienced things with the supernatural a couple times. The main one was when I was in 5th grade. I think it was like in May or something. I remember it was a Sunday because there was like a comic newspaper lying next to my bed. So earlier that day, I went to the Winchester Mystery House. To make a long story short, there was a wealthy widow who inherited $20 million. Her name was Sarah Winchester. She thought that ghosts were haunting her, so she kept building more and more rooms onto her house. So after 38 years, she had 160 rooms, including 40 bedrooms and 476 doorways, 13 bathrooms, 40 staircases, and 3 elevators. There are stairs that head towards the ceiling. And the story goes that she would sleep in a different room every night, so the ghosts won't find her. There's more to the story, but that's like in a nutshell. My family and I, we toured this Winchester Mystery House, and it was not that spooky at all. Like, I just thought it was like, oh, okay, cool piece of architecture. Alright, we're just getting a guided tour. The lady's explaining everything. Okay, there's a trap door, there's that room. Okay, cool, antique stuff. I didn't think much about it. We finished the tour at like, what? 2, 3 p.m., something like that probably. The rest of the day was normal as is, like any other Sunday. But at nighttime, I went to bed at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. I don't know why I went to bed that late, but I did. And at that time, it's like a Korean style thing where families sleep next to each other on the floor. I had a bed, a twin-size bed, but I didn't sleep in that. I slept on the floor next to my mom. My mom was sleeping next to me already. I turned off the light, and then I closed my eyes, and then not too long after, I heard something call my name. I totally got freaked out. It was like, Mina. And I was like, okay. I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that. So I kept, like, you know, I kept closing my eyes and pretended like nothing was happening. And I was telling myself, oh, you're just hearing things. I was like, whatever. I brushed it off. And then a couple more moments later, I felt like what I did was I had my blanket up to my neck, like right here. And then I felt it slowly going down, like something below me was pulling the blanket. Oh, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. And I couldn't ignore it because the blanket kept going down and down and down. And I felt it like just like going down like that. So I was like, okay, right now I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it, just revisiting that memory. Can you see it? Yeah, can you see those dots? Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps right now. Ooh. I got really creeped out. So then I was trying to wake my mom up. And my mom is a light sleeper. But she would not wake up. I just kept saying, Mom, wake up. But she was stiff as a rock and like not waking up. So that freaked me out even more. So immediately I turned the light on. I looked around. There's nothing there. And then since it was Sunday, I had the Sunday comic, the newspaper next to me. I know the kids these days, you guys don't really do those things anymore. Maybe I would have opened my Instagram app instead. But at that time, it was Sunday comics. So I read a couple of the cartoons so I could like make myself laugh and like distract myself and like just try to like uncreepify myself, right? And then after like 10 minutes, I turned the light off and I didn't experience anything after that, thankfully. Oh, my arm. Okay. Earlier that day, the tour guide was telling us that sometimes the ghosts follow visitors home. The people who visited the Winchester Mystery House, the ghosts would follow them. Like when I heard that, it didn't creep me out at all. I was like, oh, that's just probably made up, whatever. Well, maybe the spirits were being rebellious and trying to prove themselves wrong. Because apparently, a spirit or a couple spirits did follow me home, and they're waiting until like 2 freaking a.m. to haunt me. So that's my main ghost story. Alright, so since I was like 5, before I even started going to grade school, I would get scissor lock. If you don't know what scissor lock is, it's like where you wake up and you can't move your body. I used to experience that very often. I mean, I've heard some stories where my friends, they would get scissor lock, they would open their eyes and they would see something like a spirit sitting on them. I think in Hawaii, they call them sitting ghosts. The funny thing is when I started going to church, I stopped experiencing a scissor lock and I didn't experience any spiritual, like supernatural things. But when I started to get really deep in my studies in high school, which was in senior year, I started getting scissor lock again because I was like studying so much and like barely sleeping. So there was this one day, I experienced all my ghost stuff during the daytime. During lunchtime, this is still senior year by the way, my friend and I, we were walking in open air, the quad area, right? So we were walking towards the restroom, and then like she lifted her backpack like this, and then all of a sudden like I felt like a punch on my forehead. I was like, did you just hit me? And obviously, like, I know this friend, she would never hit me. She was just, like, confused, like, what do you mean? Because the thing is, the hit didn't come from the side. It came from, like this. So it was almost like something from the sky extended its fist and went, like, boom, like that. Anyways, like, that was the first experience that day. A couple hours later, I went to art school where, like, you know, like other students from other schools would gather and we'd work on our portfolio. So, okay, this time, my other friend and I were walking from the bathroom. And then I saw a person wearing yellow and, like, all yellow and, like, even their skin was kind of yellow. They walked from behind a wall into the hallway, turned around, like, it went, like, boom, boom, run, and then looked at me, and then ran behind another wall. Oh, I'm getting chills again. Do you see that? Whew. I looked at my friend, I was like, did you see that? Did you see that yellow person, the yellow man? And she was like, Mina, what are you talking about? So I'm like, yeah, I think I need to get some good sleep tonight because obviously, maybe these are hallucinations, but yeah, it's affecting my life. And I was not on drugs, just to let you know. Oh, my arm. Okay. Oh, my leg is falling asleep. Other ghost stories. When I was in 6th grade, I lived in this apartment complex where it was kind of shady, right? There was not a lot of sunlight coming in, and it was always kind of dark. It was shadowy. And the strange thing about this unit was like they had sinks in the bedroom. The bathroom itself did not have a sink. That's not the scary part. I'm just saying that was like a weird thing about that place. So at nighttime, I would always hear things. So I couldn't sleep well. I had a ticking clock in my room, right? And it would go tick, 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 tick. And like one night, I heard the ticking clock, and then I heard the sink, the faucet leaking. I checked the sink, like the water was not leaking, but I would hear the sound like the dripping and the ticking clock would be in sync, like tuk, 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 tuk. And then there's like a third layer of sound waves going on. I heard like a footstep coming toward my bed at the same time, like tuk, 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 like getting louder. And then once it got to my bed, it started all over, like from quiet to loud, like tuk, 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 tuk. So that was one time I heard something at that apartment. Another time was I would hear dinosaurs, which is totally funny and like weird and scary at the same time. So I got totally creeped out and I just could not sleep in that room. It's not like I heard something every night, but I could not fall asleep. So my dad was like, okay, I'll sleep in your room. You could sleep next to your mom. So I started sleeping in the other bedroom with my mom, and my dad slept in my room. And he was like, I sleep fine, so I'm cool with sleeping here. So we kept doing that until we moved out of that apartment. Years later, like after I graduated from college, my aunt told me that ghosts love moist places, shadowy places. That's where they hang out. I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense. Like when I was living at that apartment unit that was a little shadowy, that was where I heard all the weird stuff. But when I moved into another unit in the same residential area, my room was sunny and I never experienced anything supernatural when I was there, and I slept very well. Those are the main ghost stories that I remember right now. One of my friends told me that when you talk about ghosts, they gather around you and kind of stick to you. So hopefully I don't experience anything weird tonight. I'm gonna sage my room. You know what sage is? This is sage. You put fire on it. Yeah, you put fire on like that, and then you walk around your room. It has a certain smell to it. Some people love the smell, some people don't. But what it's supposed to do, what I'm told, it gets rid of spirits. Like all the spirits stick to it, and then you open all the windows, and the spirits go out with this smell. That's what one of my previous roommates told me. I don't necessarily believe in that, but when I do get freaked out about supernatural stuff, I do use this just for peace of mind, even if I don't want to believe in ghosts. Also, when there's like cooking smells in the house, this helps clear it up. Do you guys have any experiences with ghosts? Let me know in the comment section. If there's a certain story time topic you want me to make a video on, let me know as well. See you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.